Dear students, today we shall discuss about the subject conflict and negotiation management, an important subject for the fourth semester students under VTU, that is for MBA program. So this a subject under HR we will be discussing in the fourth semester. The subject itself says it is about the conflict and negotiation. So this an important the function, no important the practice that has to be dealt by the HR in an organization. The reason is because when we are with many people, or when we are dealing with the employees in an organization, then definitely there may arise conflict. So that is maybe due to the difference of opinion, or maybe the misconception, misunderstandings, or any kind of the job related issues. Such conflicts has to be redressed. If it is left unaddressed, then that may disturb the entire the process or functioning of the organization. So in order to control or redress, we follow certain mechanisms. So usually in HR terminology it is called as negotiation, where we bring in some mechanism in order to negotiate the dispute between the two parties. So maybe between employee and employer, or among the employees, or maybe between the employer and the union members or union leader, like that. So this forms an important topic for HR students to understand. So that's the reason this subject has been introduced. Mainly this helps the students to understand the various concepts of conflict and the mechanisms that has to be followed in order to control or reduce these conflicts in an organization. So to start with, we will be discussing about the introduction to conflict, because we have to know what is a conflict. Here we try to understand its definition, meaning, theories, then types of conflicts, then the functions of the conflict, then other the topics associated here. Now coming to the definition of conflict. Conflict may be defined as it is a struggle or contest between people with opposing needs, that is ideas or beliefs or values or goals. Conflict on teams is inevitable. So usually when we have many people, no, definitely we see or we face such issues. So that is called as conflict. It is a struggle or contest between two or more individuals. So such conflict may be of different types. So that is which could be cognitive, or which could be behavioral, or which may be affective. So cognitive means it is also called as pseudo conflict. So that is a kind of where a person don't like to express the issue that he or she is suffering from or facing. So that is called as pseudo conflict. So they keep within themselves, and they exhibit different behaviors based on that like maybe poor performance, or they don't like to be with others. So such the behaviors can be observed. And behavioral conflict, so the party may try to or feel happy to express the issue he or she is facing through his or her behavior. So that is maybe like being rude to someone, or maybe the person who is the reason for the conflict, or maybe opposing in many ways, like that. So that we can notice through the behavior of the person. So that is why it is called as behavioral conflict. And the third one is affective. So that is because of the conflict what you have, or you are facing, or you are showing, that may affect the work of others or work of the organization, or may result the on the performance of the employees. So these are the different kinds of conflict that we see. And now coming to the different types of conflict, as we discussed. So types of conflict include interpersonal, and group or intergroup or intragroup within the group or organizational conflict. So conflict at the organizational level is called as organizational conflict. Now let us understand the relationship between conflict and performance in team. The relationship between conflict and the performance is, so usually it benefits to team conflict, benefits of team conflict, then negative consequences of team conflict. So what are the effect of the conflict? That is, it may benefit in team conflict, or the adverse effect of the conflict that we should know and we should be ready to face it. Now let us understand the theories associated with this conflict before we start understanding what exactly is conflict and the types of that. There are some contributors who introduced some theories based on the observation they made and the behaviors of the people. It is called as theories of conflict. The range of theories that explain the causes and sources of conflict can be categorized into two. One is human nature and conflict, and the second one is society and conflict. So usually this conflict is because of the dilemma that we carry based on the nature or characteristics of the individuals, and also because of the conflict that may impact in the society. Theories under these two categories point towards the nature versus nurture. So where this is a debatable issue, that means this primarily affected by genes. So conflict is basically in their nature. The nature nurture theories insists that conflict emerges from the way society is organized, and the various types of divisions within the society also lead to conflict because of the differences what we have in the society among the people with respect to their positions, their the maybe the character, behavior, or the community they belong, and the perceptions what we carry based on these, no, that may lead to conflict. So this is called as nature versus nurture. And the second one is inherency theory. Those who stress on human nature as a source of conflict or of view that violence is inevitable and widespread and universal, irrespective of the social structures, as it is inherent in human beings or within the individual. Hence, these theories are also referred to as inherency theory, because sometimes the genetical nature of the person is like that, where they always be like be in the conflict nature. The third one is contingency theory. The social structural theories argue that conflict is not located inside the human being but outside it. Conflict is thus dependent on the factors external to the human being. Such theories are also called as contingency theories. Means that is not because it is inherent in nature or not based on the nature versus nurture. It is purely contingent in nature. So this is the argument in this theory, because as the situation persists, the conflict may arise. And the third one is interactionist theory, which combine the features of inherency and contingency theories. So this approach rejects the nature versus nurture debate, as it believes that human behavior is not caused by and should not be reduced to just one factor, either nature or nurture. And the next theory is Darwinism and social Darwinism. So this is even in school days also we have studied about this, that is Darwinism and social Darwinism, how the behavior of the individuals can be is originated, so where we exhibit a kind of behavior called as survival of the fittest. So that is been introduced by Charles Darwin in his Origin of Species, where he introduced the concept called survival of the fittest. Only the fittest people who successfully adapt to the specific environment in which they live will survive. So this again because of this nature or tendency that also may lead to conflict. So this is the argument that is being made, or this is the abstract of this theory. Whereas social Darwinism explains conflict in terms of natural selection, that is the nature itself will select the survival of the fittest one, and the inherent aggressions in human beings. It stresses that competition and conflict play very significant role in human society. And also it says that social Darwinists use the concept of stages of evolution. So this is all we are familiar with these concepts in our earlier studies. Now coming to the next theory, that is sociobiology theory. Sociobiology is a science that focuses on the study of social organization of animals. That is, sociobiologists believe that animals, including humans, may have genetically inherited aggressive tendencies of social behaviors. Though sociobiologists see animal aggression as being based largely in genes, they stress that it varies from one species to the other, and also between different patterns of social organizations. And aggression is of different kinds, so that is predatory aggression, fear induced aggression, irritable aggression, etc., each having its different basis biologically, whereas in humans aggression is less produced compared to other animals. So that is the difference between human beings and the animals. So these are the theoretical aspects, that is theories concerned to the conflict. So where we can understand that the conflict is because of these the various nature that the human beings carry, maybe because of learnt one, or the inherent reasons, or maybe based on contingency, like that. So now coming to the next important aspect, that is functional and dysfunctional conflict. So this conflict may be categorized as two important types, one as functional and dysfunctional conflict. Functional conflict means the conflict which supports the goals of a group and also improves its performance is known as the functional or a positive conflict. So that is, as the name itself suggests, the functional conflict, where any conflict, the arguments should lead to the positive impact, means improvement in performance. So that is, any arguments, issues happens between two parties shall lead to the improvement in the performance. And dysfunctional conflict means the conflict which obstructs the achievement of the goals of a group is called as dysfunctional or destructive conflict. Means it is that where it hinders the growth and functioning of the individual or maybe the organization, that is called dysfunctional conflict. That is, any kind of demotivation or maybe serious concerns among the individuals may obstruct the achievement of the goals, like maybe giving targets which is not accomplished, which